One of my subscribers brought my attention to this YouTube channel called Alan Watts Daily Wisdom. That's going viral right now. As you can see from here, they've already racked up more than 60,000 subscribers from only uploading 16 videos. But most people will dismiss a channel like this at first glance. After all, you've seen some far more incredible numbers on other niches. That's where you'd be making a mistake. If you take a closer look at the channel, you'll notice that they only posted their first video just 3 weeks ago. So they essentially racked up all of these subscribers in this short period with a handful of videos. About half of their videos are already bringing in hundreds of thousands of views, with the remainder sitting at tens of thousands. Even their worst performing video has almost clocked 30,000 views. Now, I know you must be curious about exactly what this channel is doing, so let's take a look at that. They're simply sharing the timeless teachings of the popular philosopher and spiritual teacher, Alan Watts. Their videos focus on philosophy, spirituality, and life lessons presented in a way that's based on his teachings. Each video dives into topics like consciousness, the nature of existence, love, and the art of living fully in the present moment. But what makes their videos so addictive isn't flashy editing or gimmicks. In fact, their videos are quite simple, combining a mixture of some impressive art and video clips. What really makes them so engaging is the clarity, the humor, and the depth of insight it delivers. To make sure that viewers can really relate with the videos, it's all narrated in the timeless voice of the great man himself. I know some people may be concerned about using his books or speeches, but here's the real truth. This channel isn't copying any of his content. They're simply taking inspiration from his philosophies and writing their own modern interpretations. Poetic narrations that feel like Alan Watts but are actually original reflections inspired by his timeless ideas. So they capture the same calm, yet thought-provoking energy that makes you stop and think about life in a deeper way. The best part is that you don't need to know anything about his teachings, or even spend hours editing like most other niches. Their videos are easy to edit, and you can create one in about an hour max. To top this off, I'm going to carry you through the entire process, starting from coming up with topics like the channel we're modeling. Once that's done, we'll go through the entire process of creating long, insightful scripts that will keep viewers watching longer and then convert it into voiceover. From there, we'll look at the best ways to generate similar oil painting style images, and even show you how to source the necessary footage, before finally bringing everything to a close with a short course on editing the same style of videos. To make sure you have everything that you'll need to get started in this niche, I've created a Google Doc which contains all the prompts that will be necessary to simplify everything from topic to image generation. You can find the link to the document in the prompts channel of my Discord server. It's completely free to join, so just click the link in the video description and look for the card titled Alan Watts Wisdom, Philosophy. The link should be right on that card. You'll also need some resources like a sample of his original voice, so I'll add a link to a Google Drive containing that and any other necessary resource that will be mentioned in this video inside the files channel of the same server. And if you're serious about succeeding with your Faceless channel but you aren't sure how to start or even what to do, check out my private school community. Inside this community, you get access to a step-by-step course that will guide you every step of the way. From finding trending niches to the strategies that you can use to write engaging scripts and more, this course contains everything I've learned and experimented with that helped me grow as a faceless content creator. You also get early access to my list of trending niches, so you can start them before they become competitive, as well as a few prompts for niches that aren't covered on the channel. Now, obviously, I can't create prompts for every single niche, so I'll be creating prompts for 2 trending niches that the community votes on each month. Even for niches that I'm working on, community members will get early access to these prompts before the video gets released. All of these in addition to weekly live sessions, including live video editing, thumbnail design training, and more. And last but not least, I know it's not easy to do this business all alone, so you get full access to DM me with any issues you might have, as well as a community of like-minded creators. So if you're ready to work seriously on succeeding with YouTube automation, the link will be the first one in the description. Now, before we get started with this video, let's take a look at a short demo I put together using the exact same process we'll be going through.
You know, the moment most of us begin to talk about freedom, we picture ourselves shedding chains, real, imagined, or symbolic, and stepping into some vast landscape of possibility where we can dance, leap, and soar unencumbered. We imagine a sudden liberation, as if freedom were a prize hidden just beyond a wall, waiting for us to break through. But here is the paradox. Freedom is not found by discarding your chains. No, it is discovered precisely by accepting them. To resist the chains is to tighten them. To fight against the circumstances that bind you is to hand over your very energy to the illusion of control. Consider a man walking along a beach with a rope tied around his waist, stretching back into the surf where a large rock is buried. Now he pulls, he strains, he wrestles with the rope, thinking that his freedom lies in breaking away. Every tug, every struggle only digs the rock deeper into the sand. And yet the man does not realize that if he were to stop pulling, if he were to lean into the rope, to feel its weight and texture, he would find balance. The rope is heavy, yes, but it anchors him. It teaches him the rhythm of movement.
The first thing you need to do is to come up with topics. You can take inspiration from the channel we're modeling, or let AI help you with that. Simply go to the Google Doc I mentioned and look for this topic prompt. Copy everything under it and open your text generator. As usual, I'm going to be using ChatGPT, but whichever one you use depends on your preference. Paste the prompt and make one simple change. Look for this placeholder and replace it with however many topics you want the AI to generate. I'm going to go with 20. Once that's done, hit enter and wait for the AI to finish generating the topics. Look through and pick the ones that you want, or you can simply request for more if these ones aren't interesting enough. Now that you have your topic, the next step is to create the script. So copy this script prompt from the Google Doc and paste it inside your text generator. Remove this placeholder and replace it with the topic that you selected. I'll go with this one about finding freedom. You don't need to make any other changes. But one important thing you should know is how the prompt works. If you scroll down, you should find the overall word count for the script. The channel we're modeling has videos with duration, ranging from 15 to 30 minutes. So the prompt is created to generate scripts that fall into this range to make up for any errors. But if you want something longer or shorter, feel free to change that. Also, most AI text generators can't create content longer than 1,200 words at a go, so the AI will need to generate the script in chunks. Once you're done with any changes you want to make to the word count, hit enter for the first part of your script to be generated. AI is getting better at generating scripts, but it's still not perfect, so my advice is to go through and make sure it sounds exactly how you want it to. If you scroll down to the bottom, you'll notice the AI prompting for the next chunk, so go ahead and type yes, and it'll generate the next part of the script. Depending on the topic, you may need to repeat this a few times till you see this text signifying the end of the script. The script is ready, so the next step is to create the voiceover. Normally, this is where I'd tell you to use any AI voiceover generator that you prefer, but this niche is quite different. The narration needs to be done in Alan Watts' own voice or something similar, so open your favorite text-to-speech generator, preferably one that has the voice cloning feature, like ElevenLabs. To find a similar voice like his, go to Voices and then hit this button to upload a sample audio voice recording of the man himself. I'll be leaving this sample in the Google Drive folder that I mentioned earlier. Once the voice has been uploaded, ElevenLabs will present you with similar voices. This last one is quite good and could pass for the real thing, so you can check that out. Another way to do this is to use ElevenLabs clone features. Simply hit this icon next to Voices and you'll see this pop up. Now you'll notice that ElevenLabs has provided two options to do this. The first one is the instant voice clone feature, and second is the professional voice clone. There's also this voice remixing feature, but I'm yet to try it, so we'll ignore that. The professional voice clone option provides the best result, but it requires you to verify that you own the voice, which can be pretty frustrating. So we'll be using the instant clone instead. Once you're on this screen, upload the sample voice and make sure the remove background noise from audio recording option is checked. Hit this button and fill in these details. You can add the name, gender, and even the age. Add a description as well if you want to, and check this field. Now you can hit this save voice button to complete the process. I've already done mine, so let's go back to the text-to-speech page. Since the script is quite long, you need to go to Studio and create a new project. Make sure the cloned voice is selected and then paste your script. I personally prefer to break mine into 1 or 2 sentences, like this. Press Ctrl+A to select everything and hit Generate. If something doesn't sound right, regenerate that part till you're done with the entire script. Then go here and export it as an MP3 file. Now that the voiceover is ready, it's time to generate the images. But before that, you need image prompts that you can give to the image generator. So copy this prompt from the Google Doc and paste it inside the text generator. You only need to make 2 changes. The first one is to specify the number of image prompts that you want the AI to generate. To make things easier, I recommend doing this separately for each part of the script. I'm going to go with 10 and scroll to the bottom of the page for the second placeholder. Make sure you've copied the section of the script that you want to generate images for, or if you want to generate everything at once, copy that and replace this placeholder with the script. Hit enter and the image prompts should be ready. Now if you take a look at the prompts that the AI generated, you'll notice that it has the description and the style, so make sure you copy everything everything when you're generating the image. AI can be lazy sometimes, as you can see from here. It's actually refusing to repeat the style for the other prompts. So make sure to replace this part with the first one that the AI generated. When it comes to actually generating the images, I'd usually recommend Image FX. However, it's unable to create this oil painting style of image exactly how we need them. So the tools I recommend using are Midjourney and the new Seedream 4.0 from ByteDance. Results from both tools are exceptional, but Seedream produces results that are on par, if not better, than Google's Nano Banana. I'm going to be using that for the demonstration. Make sure you're on their website and hit this Try Now button. Their interface is quite straightforward, so hit this Create button to be taken to the generation page, then choose AI Image from this list and make sure you've selected the Image 4.0 model. Seedream does something that most other image generators do not. Let me show you. Hit this button and choose the 16:9 aspect ratio. Now this is where the magic happens. The tool actually gives you options to generate 2 and 4K resolution images, unlike most others. This means you don't need to worry about upscaling the images because it's giving them to you at high resolution. So feel free to choose the one that you like. I'm just going to select the 2K resolution for now. Make sure the prompt is copied and then paste it over here. Hit this button and the images should be ready in a few seconds. These images look good, and it followed the oil painting style that the prompt specified. It even gives the option to upscale to higher resolutions if you want to. Let's try generating the next image. Get rid of the description, leaving only the style, and paste the description for the next image prompt. These images are equally good, so I'll quickly generate a few more and move on to the next step, which is putting everything together to create the video. But before we do that, you need to keep in mind that this style of video combines both images and video clips. For the video clips, you can download them from any royalty-free stock footage website like Pexels, Pixabay, or my personal favorite Vecteezy. You can either go through your script, decide which clips you'll need, and download them, or you can find the clips during editing. Since the quality of the images are already good, there's no need to upscale them. So let's get right into editing the video. The tool we're going to use is CapCut, so make sure it's opened and then import your voiceover images and stock footage if you've already downloaded them. The first thing you need to do is to drag and drop your voiceover file inside the timeline and then remove any long pauses. I personally prefer to do this manually, but it can honestly be time-consuming. So another way to remove the pauses is to use a tool like Audacity. It's open source and completely free to use, so make sure it's installed and open. Drag and drop your voiceover inside like this and make sure it's selected by clicking the clip. We need to add an effect, so go to the menu bar and click on it. Move over to Special and choose Truncate Silence. You'll be given this pop-up. The first part, which is the detect silence part, is where you'll direct the system on what to identify as silence. In this case, we want anything below -40 that lasts for 0.7 seconds or more to be considered by the AI as a silence. Then for the action section, it should cut the silence to something like 0.5 seconds. If you want to test out how it sounds, hit Preview. If the silence feels too short or too long, you can play around with these settings till you're satisfied. Once you're done, hit Apply to save changes. You can click this play button to listen, and depending on how it sounds, go back if you want to make any additional changes. Once everything sounds good, go to File and export the MP3 file to your computer. Now, let's go back to CapCut. Make sure you specify the aspect ratio by choosing 16:9 from this dropdown, and then drag and drop your first image inside the timeline. Feel free to shorten or extend it according to the narration. To add a bit of movement to the clip, drag the indicator to the start and then click this to set a keyframe. Then go to a few seconds before the clip ends and increase the scale to however much you want. Don't forget to drag the diamond keyframe to the end and bring in your video clip. If you're using stock footage from Vecteezy, choose video and then search for exactly what you need. In this case, I need someone dancing, so look through the results for one that fits the scene. Some of the clips are paid, so you can filter through if you want to focus only on the free ones. Once you have the clip you want, go ahead and download it, then import it inside CapCut and add it to your timeline. This style of editing is quite straightforward, so keep arranging the rest of your images and clips till you've covered the entire narration. Don't forget to use keyframes to add movements to the images. Once you're done arranging them, it's time to add transitions. So look through the available ones for some simple options. You don't need to add any heavy transitions. Simple ones work best for these videos, so something like black fade, then and now, or even the mixed transition work perfectly. Grab one and drop it between your clips and hit apply to all if you want to use the same transition for the entire video. I personally don't like too many transitions, so one every 3 to 5 clips works all right for me. You can add sound effects to sync with the transitions if you want to, but honestly, that's not very necessary. Now it's time to add some effects. So go to Effects and search for Film Frame. Test out a few and then drag and drop one above your clips like this. What this effect does is that it adds a nice border as well as some particles. It needs to cover the full video, so click and drag the edge to extend it to cover the full duration of the video. Then go through the filters and test out a few till you find one that gives you the look that you want for your video. Drop it inside the timeline and extend it also to cover the full video. Now it's time to add captions. So go to Captions and hit Generate. Then with the generated captions selected, go to Templates and test out some of the available options. If you want to keep things simple without a template, go to Basic and choose the font that you like. Then add a black stroke, shadow, or maybe a glow. Whichever one you add depends on the look you're going for. In case parts of the captions are missing, simply put the indicator at the exact point where the caption ends and extend it. Then hit the split button to divide it, and then delete the part of the text which doesn't match up with the end of the first part, and do the opposite for the second part of the script. The final step is to add the background music. So grab one from your favorite royalty-free streaming website or YouTube's audio library. Import it inside the project and drop it in the timeline. The background music doesn't need to be very loud for this niche, so decrease it significantly and then trim any excess. Once everything looks good, you can go ahead and export your video at your preferred resolution. Now, this niche is quite easy to create, but maybe you want to look at other niches that also don't take nearly as much time. Then check this updated playlist of simple niches that I put together for you. Anyway, thank you, and see you in the next one.